Welcome you back into another edition of HawksNest Pro. My name is Owen and I'll be your host today. I'm joined by Justin Trevelyan. And Justin, we'll start out with football. The Buccaneers are 5-1, and it just seems like Tom Brady is really kind of defying time at this point in time. I mean, he played on Thursday Night Football with a hurt thumb and threw for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's just like, what can't this guy do anymore?
I don't think there's a lot he can't do anymore. I mean, at this point in his age, it feels like he should start declining, but he just keeps defying the odds. He keeps going. And unfortunately, it was enough to put my Eagles down last night. And, I mean, with all the weapons he has, I think he might get another ring this year.
I mean, I would hate to see that, but that's just football for you. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, he's really one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if not the best. And speaking of your Eagles, a big trade happened here today, and we kind of look at it, and it's like Zach Ertz is going to the Cardinals, and none of us, I guess, really realized that his last game would be on Thursday Night Football, and so it was good to kind of see him get that touchdown and snag a couple passes from Jalen Hurts, but it just kind of blows my mind that the Zach Ertz era is almost over.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely disappointing to say the least. I mean, he's been a key part of that Eagles offense for a long time. I mean, he was very important in getting that Super Bowl to Philly. But, I mean, going to the Cardinals, that just gives Kyler Murray another weapon to work with. And I think if they're not careful, they might win the NFC.
Yeah, and speaking of the Cardinals, I mean, they're 5-0 right now, and they are the only undefeated team left. And like you said, Kyler is just on a roll right now. But one thing that I have to point out here is that we saw last week, he got banged up a little bit in that game, and it's a shoulder injury, and right shoulder injury at that. So that's on his throwing side, and that could be some caution here for the Cardinals.
You know, that could be something to watch, especially this week they're going up against Cleveland. They have a couple pretty good defensive ends that could rough Kyler up a little bit. So I would see maybe a little less running from Kyler maybe this week in their game plan.
Yeah, and we'll jump over to baseball now. And looking at baseball, you can't not be a fan of baseball, especially postseason baseball, when you have the Giants and the Dodgers slugging things out in just the divisional series. I mean, both of these teams have won 105 games plus, and for me, they went to 5 games. The Dodgers ended up winning that 5th game and taking the series, but like I said, for me, this is some of the best baseball we've seen out in the division series dating back to 2015 with the Blue Jays and Rangers.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely a great series, and to get ended on a checked swing call like that, it's kind of disappointing for everyone, but that's just the way baseball is, and now the Dodgers move on to face Atlanta.
Yeah, and on the other side of things for the American League, we have the Red Sox and the Astros. So you look at that series, and the Astros have made it to, I want to say, the last 5 championship series
Seems
now,
that way.
and nobody likes the Astros. Let's just be frank. I mean, the whole cheating scandal and all of that, and you've seen them beat teams like the Red Sox back in that time where they were supposedly cheating. So who do you think wins that series?
I mean, as a Red Sox fan, I might be a little biased, but I would like to see the Sox get it done. I think it'll be a great series. I personally believe it'll go 7 games, and you know, I feel like myself included and a lot of other folks would love to see the Astros go down, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm one of those people that would absolutely love to see the Astros go down here and the Red Sox go to another World Series. But on the other hand, in the National League, we talked about it, it's the Braves and Dodgers. And the Braves have home field advantage here, even though the Dodgers won 104 games, but they were only able to sneak in through the wild card while the Braves won the NL East.
Right. You know, I think it's definitely disappointing to win that many games and still have to be on the road and across the whole entire country at that. So, you know, I really wouldn't be shocked if LA drops the first game in Atlanta, but I see their pitching as superior, and I think they'll end up in the World Series again.
Yeah, ideally, I mean, I think personally it'll be the Dodgers and Red Sox World Series, a rematch of, I want to say, 2018. Yeah, it's a rematch of 2018 World Series, where you saw Chris Sale close it out, struck out Manny Machado on a back foot slider, and the Red Sox won that year.
Yeah, I mean that was a great series. I mean, I watched every game of it, and it was definitely an interesting series to say the least. But I'd be fine with that again this year.
And that has been another episode of HawksNest Pro Edition. Check back next week where we'll have another episode for you.